So my hair is messed up, and that's just because, let me see. Okay, so my hair is messed up, and that's just because I just woke up. Now, I'm making this video because, one, I'm tired of my name being slandered and dragged through the mud on multiple occasions all the time. Two, I'm tired of Eric's name being dragged through the mud on multiple occasions all the time. And three, I'm just never saying anything. Like, I'm tired of this happening. I never say anything. I never overstep the boundaries of saying what I have to say because of me having respect. And I'm just feeling like people just don't have respect for me back. And honestly, at this point, I don't give a fuck. And I'm not finna say excuse my language. I'm not finna watch my mouth. I'm not finna keep quiet anymore. I'm 26 years old. I have my own crib. I have my own car. I have my 3 kids. And I am married. So there's nothing that I, as a normal adult, should not be able to say or have to say and not be able to say it because I'm not a child. There's a whole lot of in there. Okay, so I'm really making this video because I'm tired of staying quiet. Okay, I've been going through problems with my mom consistently for the last 3 years, and I've kept my mouth closed. I haven't said too much. I haven't done too much. But at what point do I have to stop and say enough is enough? Say what I have to say and leave it. I made a video back in 2019. No, back in 2020. And I took the video down. I'm going to repost the video back up now. Because at this point, I'm continually getting talked about. For what reason? I'm continually getting dragged in the mud. My name being talked about everywhere I go. So my name is being talked about. So now I got people looking at me funny. I got people knowing a backstory that's not even a backstory. I got people thinking they know a story that's not a story because you've ran and told people your part of the story or how you feel, and remotely it's not true. Okay? It don't even be true, or it's from your point of view and you just never feel like you do anything wrong. So I'm going to start from the way beginning, because since my name continually getting dragged in the mud, getting talked about everywhere I go to everybody who I'm around, I'm going to start from the beginning, because once again, I am grown and I haven't said anything. I don't pick up the phone and call people, hey, let's talk about, hey, let's have a conversation about. I don't do that. I haven't called ever since my mom in 2018 told me to get my kids, get my shit, and get the fuck out. I haven't called no family members to sit on the phone with them and talk about her. But why is it being done to me? Why is it that every time I go around somebody, I was a topic of their conversation? It doesn't make sense to me. So let's start from the beginning. Because since I'm being talked about, I want to tell my full side. I want to tell my full story. I want people to understand why we don't talk, why we don't have a connection, why we will never talk, why we will never have a connection. Because at this point, it's just a little bit too much. And it's the audacity of people, the audacity of her, the audacity of her son to continue to talk about me and drag my name as if I'm not his sister and I'm not her daughter, as if I'm around here doing the same thing and I'm not saying shit. I'm not doing shit. Let's start from the jump. So, from jump. First of all, when it came to meeting Eric, I had already known Eric for 8 months before I got in the relationship with Eric. Me and Eric was like this. Me and Eric was friends. We talked all the time. We never had sexual relations. None of that. We was friends. We was always on the phone. Like, I would talk to him at work. I would talk to him going to work. He would talk to me while he's at work. It was strictly, we built our relationship off being friends and having a vibe instead of jumping right in a relationship. So if anybody wants to know, that's how it happened. Like, nobody just hopped in a relationship. Eric didn't come out of the blue. That's how it happened. I didn't feel like I had to tell another person something because, once again, I was grown. And in relationships, I would tell my mom certain things. Like, if I got mad on this person, I would tell her certain things, and I just felt like, okay, we're gonna do something different with this one. Because every time I get mad and I tell her something about somebody, if I make up with them, she's still upset, like normal parents would be, right? So I chose, we're gonna do this one different. I'm not, if I get into him, yeah, we're not gonna talk about it. She's not gonna know anything about him until I'm ready. Like, no. So 2018, when me and Eric started to get in a relationship type, he would come and pick me up and drop me off at home. Now, Eric was doing it all the time. Eric started off with just dropping me off because I would get off at 12 in the morning. So Eric would drop me, he would give me food and drop me off. Give me food, drop me off. Then it went from, okay, he dropping me off, we might sit in the car for a while, we might talk, and not for a while, like we sit in the car for hours, maybe 30 minutes at the max, and then I go in the house or whatever. So it came a time where my brother cut his foot in the backyard, whatever. He had his friend and her dad there, cut his foot. They went to the hospital. Eric stopped by, and by the time they came back, me and Eric was standing outside. That's how she got introduced to Eric. Now, in her head, that might have been the first time that she met Eric, which it was. She might think that was the first time I started talking to Eric, which it wasn't. Okay, so blase. They spoke, everybody spoke, it was cool. My mom felt like because Eric would pick me up and drop me off, and what, I'm not understanding, come in the house and speak, that he was being disrespectful. Because she said he will pick you up and drop you off and he wouldn't speak. If he never gets out the car, out of his car, what is he speaking for? What is he, if he never gets out of the car, if he drops me off and he picks me up and he never gets out the car, is he supposed to get out the car and speak? I'm not understanding, because maybe I'm missing something, because I've never really heard of people doing it. Like, oh, I'm just gonna get out of my car and speak, and your parent is acting the way your parent is acting. Now, let me back it up a little bit, because Eric wanted to take me to the Cheesecake Factory. My mom said she would watch the girls. My mom turned around and was like, I'm not finna watch your daughters because he know you got kids. He can take your kids with you. So, okay, cool. We took the kids, we went somewhere else. But that was like the first time. Then the second time I asked her to watch them, she got upset. She claimed I took too long. She said, don't ask to watch them no more. You know you got motherfucking kids, da 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 da, whatever. So I told him, my mom said she not gonna watch my kids no more. He said, okay, cool, we can bring one. So then start taking the kids with me. Then she started getting an attitude because I'm taking my kids out and coming back in the house at 4 in the morning. You got an issue with me leaving my kids. You got an issue with me taking my kids. But then you say, I don't have an issue with you leaving. It's just, it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. You got an issue with me leaving my kids. You don't want me to leave my kids. Then I take my kids. You still have an issue. You still have a problem. My mama used to wait till I would leave the house and she would text me malicious stuff, y'all. Like, I wish I still had the text messages, but I have had 3 phones since then. My mama would wait till I leave and text me the nastiest things ever. The nastiest things ever. I'd be sitting next to this man in a car and on the verge of not even crying because I'm sad, like, oh my gosh, she made me cry. On the verge of like, why the fuck you keep doing this? Every time I leave, I'm going to work. When I go to work, you would text me bad stuff. It don't matter where I was going. As soon as I left the house, you was like, oh, she gone. Let me text her just stuff because I can't do it because she's not here. I can't talk to her like that in her face because she's not here. So I want to mess her day up. So we gonna do it while she upset. We gonna make sure she don't have a good time outside. Okay, so that was that. November 2018, we're gonna fast forward a little bit. November 2018, I went to work. My mom watched my daughters. My mom watched my daughters, and I paid her, and the state paid her, or whoever paid her, to watch my kids the rest. So she was getting paid to watch them. She was getting paid to watch them. So November 2018, and I'm trying not to make this video so long, but y'all, I really gotta tell my story because I'm sick of this. So November 2018, on Thanksgiving, I went to work. We were supposed to go to Eric's auntie house. I come to pick my kids up. Her son and his friend was downstairs or whatever. She asked me to come upstairs. Now it's like she waited for me to come in the house to start shit. So she waited for me to come in the house. She told me to come upstairs in her room. Then she got to talking. I can't remember how to come. I think she started off by saying, you want people to kiss your ass, and I'm not going to kiss your ass. Okay, so what are you talking about? Because at this point, anytime I was getting off, I was getting my kids and I was leaving, I was coming to Eric's house. But it's like, when I'm there, all you want to do is argue. I'm not saying anything back to you. So it's basically like you just yelling in my face. You saying whatever you want in my face, and I'm not saying anything back. You texting me all this stuff, and I'm never saying anything back. You're having an argument with yourself. You are literally talking to yourself because all I'm saying is, okay, well, I'm not saying anything back. So that day, November 2018, Thanksgiving, she did the same thing. You want people to kiss your ass? I'm not going to kiss your ass. Da, da, da. And then, what are you talking about? You say, oh, if you want to start talking back, you can get your kids, you can get your shit, and you can fucking leave. You could go with him. You could go be with him. You go stay with him. Since you want to keep leaving, and you want to keep leaving the house, why, every day, you get off at 12 o'clock, and then you taking the kids, you out late, da, da, da. You go be with him, you go live with him. So you know what I did? I got my kids, I got some shit, and I left. We had a whole argument. We literally argued for like an hour, 2 hours, and Eric sat in the car the whole time. And we did it so long that we didn't even go to his auntie house for Thanksgiving because everybody had already left. So we ended up just coming back to his mom's house. So at that time, Eric already knew everything that was going on. So the fact that you saying Eric would pull up and drop me off and he wouldn't speak or whatever, like, I don't know what planet you from, but if somebody knowingly know that you don't like them, they're not getting out their car to come in your house to say hi. That's not, nobody's gonna do it. I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even do that. You wouldn't even do that. So let's fast forward. My mom started telling me she was gonna move. So she started telling me I had to get the rest of my shit out of her house because she's gonna move to Iowa. Okay, so she kept letting me know, you need to find your own place, you need to take all your shit and go live with him or go live wherever he at. You can get all your shit, get the fuck out, da 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 da. Still the same thing, but yeah, I'm still taking my kids to your house for you to watch them while I go to work. So you still getting paid to watch my kids, even though you're doing all this. Okay, so I found an apartment. We were supposed to move in January, but we didn't. My mom was telling me in December she was moving, so I had to get all my stuff out. My mom still lives in the same house to this day, but whatever. You said to get all the stuff out, whatever. I didn't come and get you, was gonna throw it out, da 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 da. Okay, so got all my stuff out, moved it in an apartment. I told her that I had an apartment. She was like, okay, and I'm moving too. So it wasn't even like, oh, okay, you got an apartment. Like, this really drug out, y'all. Like, this wasn't like, oh, we just argued for a couple days and that was it. No, it really got drug out. I was really dropping my kids off and picking my kids up and like not saying anything to her. Like, nobody was saying anything besides her leaving poop diapers at the door. Like, if you're technically being a child care provider, you're supposed to throw that out by yourself, but yet you're leaving it at the door for me to throw it out. Like, didn't make sense, but whatever. So this really got drug out. So Christmas here, I had Christmas at Eric's mom's house, and my kids didn't have too much stuff because at that time we were saving, because we was supposed to move in our apartment January 1st. We didn't end up moving there January 1st. We moved there February 1st, or was it like February 15th, around that time. So we moved in February. Okay, so once again, everything, you know, I'm happy I'm moving. I go get my stuff because once again, it's always an issue. I'm always getting yelled at, whoop-de-whoop-whoop. So I go get my stuff. So it's me, Eric, his friend, getting the stuff. Neither one of them stepped a foot in her house. I was bringing the stuff to the stairs, and then they was putting it on the truck from the stairs. Nobody came in her house. Nobody did anything. So we're just going to fast forward. I'm moving my house. Everything cool. February, don't remember talking to her. March, don't talk to her. April, I found out that I was pregnant with a boy, and I called my brother because in my head my brother didn't have anything. Y'all, I'm looking away because I can't just sit and stare at the camera the whole time. But in April, I called my brother, or around that time I called my brother to say that I was pregnant with a boy. So I went on just living my life without her around that time. I was fine. I was fine. But just know, I'm still dropping my kids off. You still watching my kids back and forth. I'm dropping my kids off back and forth, but I'm just not talking to you. Okay, so call my brother to say, like, okay, oh, I'm pregnant, I'm gonna have a boy, da da da. He put her on the phone. I'm thinking everything should go back to normal. Okay, we had an argument, whatever, get over it. I'm thinking that everything should be back to a normal. Had the girl's birthday party, had it at her house that year. I'm thinking everything is cool. Like, if me and Eric, I'm pregnant, so if me and Eric have a disagreement, I'm running to her house, like, to be able to get out of my house, you know, whoop-de-woo-woo-woo. If I'm not mistaken, okay, so when it came to Malakai birth, I did say at one point that I was gonna stay at her house, because I noticed that was a thing that she had an issue with. I said I was gonna stay at her house, but just because I said that, because the fact that I thought I needed more help than I needed. When I had the twins, I needed a lot of help. That was my first C-section. I was sore. I needed help up the stairs. I needed help to use the bathroom. All of this, right? In the midst of me being pregnant, I did get into it with my mama, and I bought Malakai bed and all of that, and I went on and put his bed up, because it was like, she said something that didn't sit right with me, and she was like, well, Terrell said, where's Eric gonna go while you here? And I'm not looking for Eric to stay in your house, because once again, we have our own crib. Nobody's looking for him to stay in the house. But it was just an awkward situation of, like, what do you mean? Like, if his baby here, he could have been here, and at night, if it was such a problem, he could have went home. But it was kind of like, what do you mean? So it was like, okay, well, you know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm just stay at home. I'm gonna just stay at home. We're gonna avoid all of this conflict, and I'm just stay the fuck at home. And if I need help, the person who got me pregnant can help me. It was one of those. And oh, she said, oh, you didn't tell me, you wasn't woman enough to tell me that you didn't want to come to the house after you had him. First of all, I don't have to tell somebody else that I don't want to come to their house anymore if we're not talking. But yet she turned around and said, when it came to her mama, she didn't have to tell her. She was spending the night at her mama's house, and her mama got mad because she didn't tell her that she was going home instead of coming back to spend the night. And she was like, I didn't have to tell her that I was going to go home and I wasn't going to spend the night. But yet you turn around and say, I wasn't woman enough to tell you that I didn't want to after I had my son, I didn't want to stay at your house. I was just going to stay at home. Kind of sound like a big contradiction of me, but whatever. So we're going to fast forward. We're going to fast forward so much, and then I might hop back and forth. So we're going to fast forward to 2020. So, no, we're going to rewind. I had Malakai. She had a friend at her house, right? Now, I did tell her, okay, well, 2 people could be in a room. If 2 people could be in a room, then it could be you and Eric. And I'm like, okay, well, if it's only one person, I really want you in a room because, like in the C-section room, because I felt like I would need help, like how I did with the girls, like moral help in general. No, when it first happened, when you first get the shots and stuff, because when I got the shots with the girls, I had to get stuck like 8 times because he couldn't find the spot. Now with Malakai, it went easy, but just in general, I didn't realize that nobody could be in the room. I just thought the first time she wasn't in the room at that time. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna need that moral support, honey. But whole time, nobody could be in the room at that time. So, you know, whatever. So at the end of the day, when I was speaking on like that stuff, I probably was mad. And I'm not even gonna say I probably was. I 9 times out of 10 I was mad. But it's like I wasn't saying it to be malicious, like, okay, well, I want you and not him. It wasn't like that. Because if I have something to say, I'm gonna say it. Like if I didn't want to be around somebody, I'm gonna say it, right? So we're gonna fast forward. The night I went to the hospital for ultrasound. One day they told me, the next day they wanted to do the ultrasound that day. Then they told me, like, look, you gonna have to come back in the morning, you're gonna have your C-section in. I asked her to watch the kids. She didn't even want to watch Mahlani and Mahliyah that day for whatever reason. She didn't even want to watch them. So then we had to ask Eric's mama, okay, my mama don't want to watch them, so can your mama watch them? And then Eric's mama was like, I really want to come to the hospital. Okay, you come to the hospital, but you still gotta bring the girls, just watch them, because if you get a C-section, you gotta stay there for 3 days. My mama didn't even want to watch them. Okay, then she went to, oh, so like now I can't be there for Malakai's birth. All of this stuff that just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense that you was doing all of this at that time. And whatever. Then when it came down to it, she didn't have a car to get there. She had a car, the car wasn't working, whatever, I don't care. Eric's mama was saying that she would let Eric's mama was saying that my mom could ride with her to the hospital. She didn't want to ride. She didn't want to ride. She told me out of her own mouth, oh, my friend here, I don't know what she gonna do, da 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 da. So I'm trying not to say names, but at the end of the day, do I care? No. So her friend Shamil was there. She said, oh, she here, I don't know what she gonna do, but I'm not gonna leave her here, blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't think it was I'm not gonna leave her here because I don't trust her. I'm just not gonna leave her here because she here at the house for me. So whatever. Eric's mama came up to the hospital. Eric kept talking. Oh, Eric was the one. I was the one that was kind of like, okay, if she not gonna come, she not gonna come. I don't care. Like, it is what it is. Eric was the one who was saying, oh, well, it would have been good for both of our mamas to be there. Both of our mamas. His mama wasn't in the room. His mama was. She came in the room. She came in the room, not the C-section room, in the room. I was having like a panic attack, just thinking of the thought of me doing it again. She prayed over me. Then after the C-section, the baby come out, whatever, she stood at the window. She watched him get washed and all the normal stuff that happened after the babies are born, which I don't know too much about what goes on afterwards because I'm still gonna C-section and I got my tubes tied. He's like, oh, that would have been good if both of our mamas could have been there. Both of our mamas could have seen it. I was one of those that was like, look, she want to come. I can't keep trying to force somebody to come that don't want to come. Okay, I can't keep trying to say, you can ride with her or whoop-de-woo-woo. I can't. So, my mama said, let's fast forward to me coming home. Because my mama came up to the hospital, but it's like my mama came up to the hospital and I swear on life itself, it seemed like she had an attitude. Like we barely said anything to each other. It was just an awkward encounter. You come in the room, you're not really saying too much. You hold him out, you're still not saying too much. Like I had to use the bathroom. Like it was just so, like it was awkward. Like me trying to force you to talk to me. Like you really didn't want to talk to me. So it was kind of like, I can't wait to get home to get my kids and just go home. So then I go home, I go get the kids, I go home and whatever. It was the day I got home or the day after I got home. I was sitting with Malakai right here, FaceTiming her. She's like, why are you always holding him? I'm like, because I love him. Oh, why don't you let Eric hold him? I'm like, Eric does hold him, but at the same time, Malakai was a breastfed baby. Like, if I'm holding my kid, what's it to you? So then she's like, oh, well, what did she say? Oh, well, don't forget you have 2 other kids. And I'm like, please don't start. She hangs up on me. So from then to a certain period of time, again, me and my mom didn't talk. My mom claimed she didn't move to Iowa because she knew I would need help, and who would I have to help me? And yet I'm like, Eric, oh, Eric works. His mom lives too far. So basically you saying I wouldn't have any help, so that's why you didn't move to Iowa. But in reality, my mom really never came over my house when I lived in Riverdale. We're just gonna keep it a buck. You never really came over my house. You came over my house a handful of times. And then when you was coming over my house, it was periods of time where my mom would come to my house and she wouldn't even come in. We had double doors. We had double doors to come in, and then my door. She wouldn't even come in. Like, my daughter's in a window wanting to see her. She wouldn't even come in the building. And then when she come in the building, she's standing in the hallway. She's standing in the hallway with my door open to speak. And Terrell did the same thing. Terrell never even seen my apartment in Riverdale. So it's like, so let's fast forward. So 2020, let's fast forward. My mama got an attitude because I did not go to her Halloween party in 2019. If y'all could recall the Chicagoland area, it was snowing Halloween 2019. So my mama got an attitude. It was Kina at my house, it was Destiny at my house. She was like, y'all should come over. I have 3 kids myself. I have Eric, I have myself. That's 5 people in the car. How these other 2 people gonna get there? Kina was going home, and Destiny had to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. So she got an attitude. So from October to January, October 2019, January 2020, me and my mom did not talk at all. Nothing at all. We did not talk. The only reason why we started talking is because of, it was her birthday. My daughter said happy birthday, and then she let me know that my grandpa was in the hospital and that he was going through stuff in December that I did not know about. That's how we started back talking in 2020. Okay, so February come along, I get my taxes and all of this. In my point of view, my mama got an attitude because I bought my camera and like the Canon starter kit. That was the last conversation I had with her, which is what I said. Okay, she was at my auntie house. My brother was working some type of job where she would go over there like to pass the time, whatever. I have no idea. I wasn't in the midst of it. I didn't ask what job he worked. I didn't know where he worked at. I didn't care. So she was going over to my auntie house. She was leaving out of my auntie building to go pick him up, and that was the last thing we talked about. And she hung up on my face. She's like, why would you buy that? That's $800. That's somebody's rent. And I'm like, what rent? I'm not paying rent. We were staying with Eric's mama. We had moved out of the Riverdale apartment and we moved in here. So what rent? And we moved in here because, one, we have a backup apartment. So let's go look for apartments. I'm gonna look for apartments here. But then COVID ended up happening. Blah, 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 blah. So that was the last conversation that I had. Like, and we moved out of that apartment February. It's still February, right? No, we moved out. When did we move out? Was it February 1st or January 1st? No, we moved out January, but we took our keys back in February. So the whole month of January we was living here. She did not know, because once again we not talking, and it's not really your business after we haven't talked for months for me to just tell you everything. Because it seems like when I tell you stuff, other people know my business, it get thrown back in my face. People that shouldn't even know my business know my business. So why would I tell you anything? It was one of those. So February, the camera situation, that was the last time I talked to her. We just gonna pass by all the stuff with my grandpa. February, I didn't talk to her. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November is when we started back talking again, because my grandpa passed away. So in between those months that we didn't talk, where I worked at, I would see my mama in the parking lot. My mama wouldn't even speak to me. My mama would look me dead in my face and didn't speak. My mama would look Kina dead in her face and wouldn't speak. My mama would walk past me like we strangers. Okay, Like, it was the time when my mama pulled up because I worked in a gas station. She pulled up, she asked me to come outside, and she was like, can you bring the kids to my house? Now, I told her, yeah, but did I bring them? No. First of all, when I came home, Lonnie was throwing up. That was number one. Number two, it was one of those, why would I take my kids to your house? Why all of a sudden you want them to come to your house? Y'all not calling. Y'all not trying to see how they is. Like, I'm not that hard to find. Even if your number is blocked, I'm still not that hard to find. Like, you could do anything to get in contact with me, social media wise. So it's like, out of the blue, why do you care for them to come over? Like, I'm not understanding. Her friend lady would come up to the gas station, oh, your mom missed them, or your mom this, or your mom that. And I'm like, yeah, my grandpa said for her to call him. Can you tell him to call him? Like, other people coming to me saying, oh, your mom just missed the kids. Everybody coming saying that you missed my kids but you. Like, my whole thing, it was with my mom. I didn't, at that point in February, I didn't do anything to you. Again, the last conversation that I had was about my camera. But out of the blue, you saying, when we had a conversation in November, so let me fast forward and tell y'all. We had a conversation in November after my grandpa passed, because I just felt like we cannot go on and act like nothing happened. In my family, people love to do things to each other and then turn around, and because something happened, everybody stop and just forget that something has actually happened, instead of really sitting down and talking about what the problem is, how to fix it, and if it should be a continuous relationship. Everybody just act oblivious to the fact that something has happened, and I'm sick of doing that. I'm sick of people hurting me or people doing something to me, and either I'm not saying something or I'm acting like something hasn't happened, and now I gotta kumbaya with these people. I gotta fake kick it with somebody for somebody else. Deep down in my heart, I know I still got an issue with you, but to make everything seem okay at that moment, we're not gonna talk about it. No, we're gonna talk about it. So we had a conversation in November. A lot of stuff transpired in that conversation. I asked her what was her issue with Eric. We talked about our problem. I told her I didn't like her boyfriend, whoever he is, because at that time she was saying she didn't want to be with him. She's tired of dealing with him, etc., etc. She's tired of dealing with him. She don't want somebody. She wants somebody who about their stuff. She wants somebody who's gonna be an adult about their stuff. She's tired of going through the same stuff with him. All of that stuff. So, but now they together. Whatever. None of my business, okay? Live your life. Be happy. I'm just saying. So, that was, I told her why I didn't like him. And I have valid reasons on why I don't like him. But this is my thing. Like I told her, you're an adult. Be with who you want to be with. At this point, I'm overgrown. Once I hit 18, I'm an adult. I'm grown. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? I tell my mom all the time, be with who, if that's who make you happy, that's fine. That don't mean I have to be around him. That don't mean I have to kumbaya with him for the sake of you. Like, I'm never finna just kick it with somebody just for the sake of somebody else. So I asked her what her problem was with Eric. Now hold that, I'm not finna sit with somebody for somebody else. I asked her why she didn't like Eric. At first she really, I don't have a problem. So I was like, okay, well, you said you don't have a problem, so if we continue, I don't want to hear anything about it. Like, don't pop up out the blue and say you have a problem, and if I'm asking you. Then she started saying, well, when he would pick you up, he wouldn't say hi. And I'm like, he would drop me off outside. Like, he wasn't coming in. Then she said it was times that he would come in and not speak. Now, if that's what you want to keep riding with, and you want to keep saying Eric disrespected you, and he was coming in your house and not saying hi, rawr, first of all, I don't remember that. Second of all, I wouldn't let nobody just disrespect my mama. Like, I don't care who it is. And if you feel like I would let somebody disrespect my mama, then clearly you don't know me. Just period. Number 3, Eric was speaking. Now, if you saying Eric not speaking to make you feel better, to make you feel like you have a valid reason to not like this person, or you want everybody to band together and not like this person, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna let my name get dragged in the rug, and then on top of that, you dragging somebody else's name in it for what? You really don't have a real valid reason to not like Eric. Eric has got out of his bed to give you multiple jumps, jumped your car. Eric got out of the bed went and got you medicine, ginger ale, and all of that when you was sick. Eric has took you places. Eric has picked you up from places and all type of stuff. And what Eric did that off the strength of you being my mama, because already knowing you have an issue with him. And this issue ain't just pop up out of the blue, but you had an issue with him and he was still doing it. He was still doing it. And the issue between Eric and Todd came about because of some girls' beds, y'all. If everybody really want to know, it came about from some beds. Because I got off of work, and this is like 2018, right? So I got out of work, go to pick the kids up. I'm going in the house to pick the kids up. I go in the bathroom, come out the bathroom. Eric and Ty gone. I have no idea where they went. Okay, then she said they went to go get some weed. Okay, they go get some weed, I guess, in the car. They was having a conversation, whatever. Ty told Eric that he wasn't working, that he was selling weed, that all of this life stuff you telling this man, right? But then he turned around and he asked you, was you still gonna buy the twins beds? Because we was finna move in an apartment, in the Riverdale apartment, and now all of a sudden you got an issue. My whole thing and my thing continue to be, if you had an issue with him saying that, as y'all two being grown men, you could have told him that. You waited till y'all came back in the house, right? Y'all came back in the house. We all sat there for like 10 minutes together, and then once we left, that's when I get texts from her and Ty, which Ty should have never texted my phone. If you want to get deep down in it, Ty shouldn't have texted my phone talking about it at all. But you text my phone, he texts my phone talking about that Eric disrespectful because he asked Todd about some beds. But yet Todd sat in a car and told his whole life story to him. He asked if he was still gonna get the beds, not, oh nigga, you still gonna get the beds, like you still gonna get the beds because we finna move in an apartment. Like, if you not gonna get them, then we gonna buy it. But that's wrong, that's disrespectful. But you tell him your whole life story. So from then on, Eric and Todd haven't been in the same you dig, besides my grandpa's funeral. So even me telling her my issue, right? And that wasn't even the first time that me and my mama got into it over that issue. That's not even the first time that we got into it, because we got into it when I was pregnant with Malakai. And at that time, what was that, 2019, we got into it with that. We got into it about that. Once again, nobody gonna kiss your ass, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She opened her door, she called me bitches out the door, she called me stupid asses, you fucking stupid, all this stuff. Open, out in public, while I'm putting my kids in the door. Putting my kids in the car. So I told her, you don't gotta watch my kids no more. Because clearly you keep throwing in, I'm watching your kids for you, I'm doing you a favor. You're really not doing me a favor if you're getting paid. You getting paid to watch my kids, then you feel like you're not getting paid enough to watch my kids. But you're still getting paid. You're not watching them for free. Nobody's out here asking you to watch their kids for free. So we're gonna fast forward the conversation we had. I told her everything. I felt like that conversation was good enough that I asked my mama, did she want to be a part of me and Eric getting married. Now, we supposed to get married at the courthouse. My grandpa had passed away. We had everything. The courthouse stuff we had it set up October 10th. No, October 9th. But my grandpa ended up passing away, so everything had to get readjusted. So basically, the actual date that we were supposed to go to the courthouse, because we was just going to go to the courthouse, that was the day of his funeral that they had. So I had to change it up, and we had to pay for somebody to marry us. The COVID stuff happened to where it was only a certain amount of people in a room together, so we ended up doing it at Eric Mama house. Eric Mama decorated. It was great. Go watch it on my YouTube channel. Woo woo woo. I let my mama come to the wedding. Like, Eric Mama wanted her to walk in the wedding. Eric Mama didn't even walk. If y'all watch the video, only my mama did. My brother didn't even come. And at this, I sat for months just thinking, why didn't he come? I'm asking her, why didn't he come? Why didn't he come? Oh, why don't you ask him? But then she'd turn around and say, oh, he be throwing up out the blue. Or he be sad. Everybody be sad, but don't nobody think about how Mahliyah feel. Everybody want to be sad, but nobody sit and say, well, how would she feel? How do I think she feel? Right? So I never asked him, but at this point, I just really don't care. I wish she wasn't in my wedding. I wish she wasn't invited. I wish I didn't tell my mom where I lived that. I wish I could just rewind and like all of this stuff could just go back. Like it could just really go back and just nothing would be nothing. Like after the funeral, everything would have just went back to how it was in 2020. Because at this point, it is just too much. It's too much. It's too toxic. So back to the conversation. I had the conversation with her. Told her everything. She said she felt like when I met Eric, she was left out and I left her out. But yet I would invite my mom to stuff. And my mom would either come or she wouldn't come, and then she acting awkward. You acting like people gotta speak to you first. Like, we're gonna talk about this speaking first thing. We're gonna talk about this speaking thing because there's been multiple occasions where you haven't spoke and somebody have to speak to you first. So for you to keep walking around and acting like you're upset because, oh, Eric didn't speak first or this person didn't speak, you weren't speaking first. People got to start conversations with you. People got to speak to you. Or you really just sitting there like... You know how awkward that is? Like, people got to do that. Like, if it was vice versa and I'm going to Eric's family and I got to keep starting conversations with people, eventually I'm not going to say anything to them. Because you're not just finna keep making it seem like I just have to talk to you. Like, I gotta talk to you. Or every time we talk, I'm starting a conversation. Like... Eventually, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to keep talking. I even asked my mama in November, okay, you feel like you left out. So if me, Eric, and his mama have an event and I invite you, are you going to come? She said no. Why are you not going to come if you saying you feel like you left out? And how do you feel like you left out if I'm inviting you to stuff, either you saying you wouldn't come? You saying you wouldn't come. You cannot feel left out if you told this person to get their shit and get their kids and get the fuck out and go with this person. And it wasn't that she told me to get my stuff and get my kids and get out and go with him. I was planning on moving anyway. I was planning on getting an apartment anyway. It was just like she did that forced ass push that I got put out way before. I got put out a couple months before I wanted to leave. It was that. It was that. But we're not gonna, are we gonna talk about how she was telling me, oh, you're gonna fail. I'm gonna put in my calendar that you're gonna be back. Or, you still, I said, you're not even proud of me that I got an apartment. Oh, why would I be proud of you? I told you to do it by yourself. You're doing it with somebody else. I'm doing it with the father of my children. But it's still not good enough. Or let's talk about how you was telling the twins that Eric wasn't their dad. That's not their dad. That somebody else that I'm not even going to mention his name is their dad. Or we're not even going to talk about how you always bring his name up. You bring his name up. You bring his mama name up. When yet they have a perfectly fine person who's taking care of them. Who loves them. Who does stuff for them. Every day. Not just when they feel like it. Not just when they not mad at me. Every single day. Every single day. Who cares about them? His mom cares about them. His family cares about them. But that's not good enough. Because you think of the toxic stuff to think about. And you bring up people who's so irrelevant. This man hasn't seen my kid since 2 weeks before their first birthday. And you still bring him up. You still bring his mom up. I don't get it. The only time I would talk about this man is about child support. You talking about this man, oh, she looked like him, and I wonder how it would be if he came around. It's like you want that in my life. You want that. You want me to be toxic. You want me to be toxic. Like I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. You see, I have somebody who loves the fuck out of me. Who loves the fuck out of my children. Okay? Who, as you can see, will do anything for me. Like a buck. Eric never really tells me no. Now if I say jump off a building and he say no, that's different. But who really loves the fuck out of me. And it's still just not good enough. Like I said, my mom is my first bully. My mom called me fat. My mom called me ugly. She said my booty looked funny. All of this shit. And I never say anything about it. But it comes to a point where I'm just continuously getting talked about. My mom gave me some money to get she gave me $100 the first time, $200 the second time. I didn't ask for it. She sent it to me because, yes, At that time, me working at the job I was working at, I was only getting 2 days. And I'm not saying I wasn't appreciative for her to send me that money. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying you sent it, I didn't ask for it. What I did ask for was to borrow money for my MacBook. And then when I got my taxes, I was going to give it back. But now you turning around and you telling people that I owe you money. The one time my mom do something for me, you telling people that I owe you money. You telling people that I owe you money. And it's like, it's to the point where it's like, I don't even cry because I'm upset. I mean, I'm sad. I'm crying because I'm upset. Because at the end of the day, why should the next person know that you gave me money and I owe you money? Do they know that you in 2019 you was playing with the link card? 2019, anytime me and you get an attitude to me and you not talking, you playing with the link card? Do they know that? Do they know anytime you got an attitude, you was threatening me, telling me to get the fuck out, you called me a hoe? Do they know that? You called me a hoe because Savon spent the night in my room with his baby. That was the first time of me seeing that man in years. What, you thought I was gonna sleep with that man? That's how you look at me? That's how you look at me. I slept on my futon. On my futon. Which he was, if you want to keep it completely above, he was supposed to sleep on the futon. I got in my own bed. He crawled in the bed. I got out of the bed. I got on my futon. But I got called a hoe for that. And not only did I not sleep on the futon, I slept on the futon with my children. On top of that. But do people know that? Let's talk about the twins party really quick, because this video gonna be super long. For the twins party, I had 2 parties for the twins. Y'all can go look. 2 parties. The first one, he asked for himself. He asked for himself to be invited. I said, you're not invited. By you being my mama, and I had this conversation with you, and I told you that I didn't like him. You shouldn't even thought that he would be invited. It's been multiple occasions where I told my mama, stop letting him say that he my kid's grandpa. Stop letting him, like, it's been multiple occasions. Oh, I'm not gonna tell him that, and if that's what he think, that's what he think. Okay, but these are my kids. These are my kids. Okay, whatever has happened in the past with her, oh, you used to like him and you used to take money from, that's in the past. Like, that's in the past. I'm telling you, as of November, I didn't like him. Now, me speaking up for him and me feeling like certain things that she was doing to him might have been wrong or whatever, that doesn't mean I like him. Because just like you was fake kicking it with Eric, you come to my house, you talking to Eric, you and Terrell wanted Eric to spend a night for Christmas. I got into it with Eric on Christmas because he didn't want to spend a night at your house. Eric didn't see his kids on Christmas because I'm mad because he don't want to spend a night at your house and y'all want him to spend a night. New Year's he was over there. For your birthday, the only people who came was me, Eric, and Keena. Your own friend showed up like 30 minutes to 12. But yet, clearly, what we gotta do is fake kick it for each other. I'm not doing it, bro. Like, I'm not doing it. If it's in your house, whatever, that's your house. But when it comes to my house, if I don't want somebody at my house, it's just that simple. Just like any other person. Just like if she didn't want Eric at her house, anytime, you had every right to say that. You don't have to let somebody in your house for me. You don't have to let somebody, you grown. You don't have to let somebody in your house for me. But he asked, was he invited? I said no. Now, me having a conversation with you already, and me already letting you know what it is, if that's who you choose to be with, that's fine. But I don't like him. Okay, that is what it is. I don't. He has done something to everybody individually, and if anybody say he haven't, they're lying. Individually, he has done something. And it's not just one time he has done something. 2 times. No, it's not. So all of this, oh, well, we just gonna start this Eric and Mahliyah hate train and act crazy to the fact that he is the real person who started. Every time we get into it, he's like in the midst of it. He's he's holding everybody like this. He helping you get into it with your daughter. You go home and he still talks to his daughter. Make it make sense. But anyway, I said he wasn't invited. I said that over the phone. He was like, I'm coming anyway. Okay, you could come. The jumping gym was a public place, but that don't mean you coming in my room. Like, I'll call you back, whatever. He didn't end up coming. My mama came then. My mama was so awkward there. Like, it was uncomfortable. It was a weird vibe. If y'all watched the video, my mama not even really in the video. I mean, I wasn't recording too deep anyway, but she really wasn't even in the video because she kept disappearing. She left. She went to Dollar Tree, got candy, and all. It just didn't make sense. So we're gonna fast forward to the girl's birthday party that was at my house. She called that morning. Everybody talking that morning. Me, her, Eric talking that morning, talking about barbecue and trying to figure out how to start the barbecue. Da 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 da. She say, "Oh well, Todd called off of work, so can you tell him that he can't come?" No, I'm not gonna tell him he can't come. You tell him that's your job. That's your situationship. You let him know. I didn't think it would be that big of a deal for you to let this grown man know. No, you can't come. I don't care if he called off work. That had nothing to do with me. You shouldn't have let him call off work. Why would you let somebody... Y'all have to really think realistically. If I had this conversation with you and I told you in November that I don't like him, okay, if we at your house, that's at your house. At my house is a totally different story. If we at your house and he there, what do I have to say to that? That's not my house. That's not my house. The last time I even seen him, and he didn't even speak. I opened the door for him. He didn't even speak. So why would you think he would be okay with teeter-tottering in my house? So, long story short, when they got here, which I had no idea he was pulling up. Not even that they came together. You let this man drive to my house by himself. You gave an op my address. This op know where I live. I don't know where he live. I don't know where he live at all. At all. But you let him know where I live. You brought him to my house. So, when he came, I'm in the shower. I'm not even really knowing what's going on. I look out the window. I see everybody go back to their car. I heard a bunch of yelling. So I'm trying to hurry up and put my jeans on. I go downstairs. Long story short, my mama had an attitude because Eric told Todd that he could not come in, which he has all right to. This is his house. This is his domain. So if he don't want somebody who, the last time they seen each other besides my grandpa's funeral was when all of that stuff happened in 2018. This is my thing. If a grown man tell another grown man that he not welcome and it's no issue, they didn't get into it, it wasn't no big scuffle, nothing. What's the issue? What's your problem? My auntie and my granny came. We just gonna fast forward that my mama acted a fool. Terrell turned around and acted a fool because they both was yelling and jumping all in Eric's face. And what did Eric do? Nothing. Nothing. Like I told Eric, that could not have been me, vice versa. If it was somebody yelling, standing over me, pointing a finger, yelling in my face, it would have been a problem. So I applied Eric for not doing anything. When it came to Terrell, all of a sudden he wanted to fight Eric. Like, I didn't even get any of that. Like, when the fuck do you fight? Like, where is this? Like, my thing is, when my brother, you know that my mama do stuff and you know she be wrong, but you continue to take her side. And it ain't even about like, hey, join my team, take my side. It's just the fact that if you know she wrong, you need to tell her that she wrong. Stop applauding what she doing and you lingering on to what she doing and you know that she wrong just to have someone to stay. My mama told me to get out at 23, but you finna be 30 and you still live with her. I'm not understanding. What, you don't have any kids, so me having kids was the reason to tell me to get my shit, to get my kids and leave? Like, I'm not understanding. If you know somebody is wrong, this is for anything. If you know somebody is wrong, instead of telling them that they wrong, people egg on to her. People like literally don't tell her that she's wrong. They sit and they let her feel like she's right, and then it makes it look like I'm wrong because I never say anything. It makes it look like I'm the problem because I sit and I stay my peace. I don't call anybody. I don't call anybody. Yeah, so guess what happened? Yeah, I can't believe her. Yeah, so they told Todd he couldn't come in. So my mama, Terrell, my auntie, and my granny left. They all left. because of this one person that should not have came in general. Everybody left. All of my family left. My daughter's birthday party. So, usually I never say anything. You know, it is what it is. The next day, yes, I did call my mama. Yes, me and my mom did get into it over the phone. Yes, me and Terrell did get into it over the phone. Yes, I did say fuck him. Yes, I did do all of that. I'm not saying I didn't do any of that. But at the same time, nobody thinks about my point of view. Nobody thinks about how I feel. Nobody sit and be like, oh, well, why didn't Nene do that? Everybody just hops on her bandwagon because she calls everybody first. I don't have to call nobody to feel like, listen to me. Listen to my story. I don't have to do that because it's one of those, especially at my house, it is what it is. What I say goes at my crib. I don't care where I live at. Wherever I live at, what I say goes. It's not what somebody else say goes, because at the end of the day, I really need people to realize, and I need people to, one thing, to stop telling me that life is too short. Because I understand that life is too short. But while I'm living, I'm not going to live unhappy. I'm not going to live with drama. I'm not going to live with somebody being toxic. I'm not going to live with somebody, 1 minute they want to talk to me, 1 minute they don't, 1 minute they want to talk to my kids, 1 minute they don't, 1 minute they care about us, 1 minute they don't. I'm not going to live like that. I'm going to need people to stop telling me that life is too short, because the same way something can happen to them, something can happen to us. God, knock on wood, protect us. In your name I pray, amen. But something can happen to us too. The same people that telling me life is too short, are you telling her and her son that life is too short? Are y'all telling them that life is too short? So at the end of the day, tell both of us that life is too short. But I'm sick of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing it. I don't care to hear it no more. I don't care to hear it no more. I don't care about that life is too short. I don't care about everybody should get over it and everybody should pretend to be happy family. I don't care about any of that, because at this point, a lot, even in this video, I'm just not even getting too deep. I'm getting deep, but I can get deeper than that. I can get deeper than that and to really tell people how I really feel and let people understand where I'm coming from and why I'm saying, listen, enough is enough. Just because you have that title of being my mom does not mean I have to continuously, for the rest of my life, allow you to treat me a certain way. Allow you to treat my children a certain way. That does not mean I have to do that. Regardless of having Eric or not. I don't have to do it. I dealt with it growing up. And now that I'm grown, if I refuse to not deal with it, that's what I refuse to not do. It's mamas out here that kill their kids, that beat their kids and all that. Why? You gonna say, that's still your mom? That's still your mom? No. No. Just because you have that title over anybody, that does not mean that you have to allow them to treat you anyway just because of that. It's been so many times that my mom has said fucked up stuff to me and I have not said anything. You know why? Because you're my mom. Because I got respect. But yeah, I get talked to anyway. I get treated anyway. And then it's always a 2-on-1. Because Terrell not going to tell her she wrong. Terrell not gonna tell her she wrong. Other people can't tell her she wrong because I haven't said anything. That's just what I just said to Keena. I said, that's just like if you was sucking dick on the corner and I start a rumor, yeah, Keena was sucking dick on the corner. And you never tell people, listen, I was never sucking dick on that corner. And the rumor keep getting out and people seeing you and they're like, yeah, I heard, that's the one I heard, it was sucking dick. And you never say, that never happened. Everybody gonna ride with the story that it did happen. So at this point, I'm really saying what I have to say because I'm really sick of my name being drugged down. I'm sick of these stories coming out and they aren't your point of view. They're not even the true story. I never knew adults could just lie about whatever the fuck they want to lie about and everybody linger on with them. You talking about your child to people who wouldn't talk about their kids with you. They aren't your point of view. They're not even the true story. I I never knew adults could just lie about whatever the fuck they want to lie about, and everybody linger on with them. You talking about your child to people who wouldn't talk about their kids with you. Like, I just really don't get it. I just really, it's like, I don't get it, but at this point of dealing with it with your own parent, it's like, you have to get it. You have to get it. It doesn't change. And let me just start by saying, not even start because this is a long video, but let me just go by saying this hasn't just happened because of Eric. Eric was like the cherry on top. It was like the cherry on top. My whole life, if company would come over, my mama would act up. At that point, you wanna argue, you wanna try to embarrass me. Terrell, anytime she get mad at me, Terrell gets mad at me. Or vice versa. If he mad, she mad. If she mad, he mad. But now all of a sudden you want to say you don't like Eric once again the day after I call you after their birthday. You don't like Eric. I did not. Let me say it loud. I did not marry Eric for the benefit of anybody else. I married Eric for me. I married Eric because Eric makes me happy. Eric treats my kids good. Now, I don't put nothing past nobody for nobody to say anything at this point. So let me say, I'm never the type of person that's gonna let anybody mistreat my kids. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a man. I don't care if it's my mama. I don't care if it's Terrell. Ain't nobody finna mistreat my kids in my face. I don't put it past nobody that nobody's not gonna say, oh, but she let him do A, B, and C and she ain't saying nothing. I don't put it past nobody. I'm not that type of mama at all. At all. I'm that type of mama that's gonna break this chain reaction. Your mama did it to you, you did it to me. I'm not doing it to my daughters. We gonna break that chain. We gonna break this toxicness off at me. I would never be, now let me not say my mama just been like this horrible person, because I'm not even gonna paint you out to be this horrible person like you're painting me out to be, like how you paint Eric out to be. I'm not even gonna paint you out to be this horrible person, but what I am gonna do is tell the truth, because who's gonna whoop my ass? I'm not gonna get no whoop for telling the truth. I'm not gonna get a whoop for saying how I really feel. I just never said how I felt because of respect. But now that I see I'm not getting any respect, it's not even that I'm your child. I'm an adult. I'm 26. Where's the mutual respect there from adult to adult? Why? Because you're older, I should give you more respect? You're always going to be older than me. That I'm never going to catch up in age. Like, it's not going to happen. But it's like, come on now. Like, you want to get even deeper? My brother has never called me or text me to see how my kids was doing. And this goes way beyond this little situation. Or not even little situation. It goes way beyond this situation. He's never. So all of that, he crying around people when he get drunk, acting like he missed them. You don't have no bond with Malakai. Malakai cries around y'all. Malakai don't even be wanting you to hold him. So let's not even fake kick it. You wait till you get around them, you take pictures with them, you act like everything cool, and that's it. When we would come over my mama's house, you would come out, you would see them, and then you back in your room drinking beer. So let's cut the act, and let's not act like you just missed them so much, and you wait till you get drunk and you crying around everybody and acting like I'm the big old problem and you don't get to see them, when you had plenty of opportunity to see them when we coming over my mama's house, and yet you in your room. You're in your room. Or let's talk about how my mama would say, oh, she want the girls to come over, but you don't want Malakai to come over. And that was another thing that me and her was like having, getting into it about, because you're not going to, I don't care if Malakai is 1, 0 months, 12 years old, you're not going to just I don't want to even say disconnect, but you're not going to take 2 of my kids and leave 1 because, oh, well, he has to have a stroller, da 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 da. At one point, the girls had to have a stroller too. So that's no excuse. That's no excuse. And that was just something that I'm not going for. I don't care who it is. Nobody's going to do that to my kids. When Eric mama get the kids, she get all of the kids. She don't just say, hey, let me just get Malakai. No, she get all of the kids. And yet my mama was trying to pull it. Oh, I'm going to just take the girls. No. Then it was a point where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to just, oh, they want to come? Okay, well, I'm going to just leave them with you. Because at this point, you're making it seem like you really just don't want Malakai. So if I need somebody to watch the kids, well, now I got to ask this person to watch him and you to watch them. But then it's like, why would Eric really feel comfortable with leaving his son with you if you always saying you don't really want him anyway? Like, come on now. I'm sick of this faking. I'm sick of this fakeness, all this bullshit going around, and I'm still saying, I'm not saying nothing, y'all. I'm keeping my quiet. I'm not even going too in depth. Like this mother-daughter relationship, it would just never ever be the same. Like, I told my granny that I don't want to talk to my mama ever again, and I'm serious. Because I just feel like my life is so much more peaceful. I'm so much more happy without having to talk to you. As soon as I talk to certain people, all of a sudden stuff start happening in your life, stuff in my life. I'm not even gonna speak in third person. Stuff start happening in my life. All of this stuff start popping up. All of a sudden you got drama with this person, got drama with this person. I'm sitting here wondering why my family don't talk to me. This could be the main reason. This is the reason. And Cardi B voice, this was the reason. I should not have to, every time I go around somebody and in the back of their head, they're like, oh, I know what happened with you and your mama. That is not how it should be. That is not how it should be. Why does every time me and you get into it, you getting on the phone, you jumping on the phone, you talking about me to people, and I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything to nobody. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. I'm sitting over here. I'm going through it with Eric. I'm talking about it to Eric. Like, ain't this crazy? But just to find out, like, you still talking about me. You still going around, you slandering me. You still going around, you slandering Eric. You telling people stuff, and let's keep it a buck. You telling people stuff, and half of it ain't even true. Half of it ain't even true. And me saying what I have to say, I'm not saying none of this to make somebody be on my team. I don't need nobody to be on my team. I sit in the house by myself. I do what I gotta do by myself. It is what it is. I'm not saying nothing to let nobody, hey, come on guys, band together and be on my side. Let's be mad at her. That's not what I'm doing. But that's what you be doing. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm saying what I have to say because at this point, I keep getting talked about. I keep getting lied about. All this stuff keep going on, and it just doesn't make sense. Like all of the stuff that keeps surrounding, like if you don't want to talk and you don't want to be in my life, that's fine. If you don't want to be in my kid's life, that's fine. But at this point, there is with nobody, like, it's no way you could be in my kid's life and disrespect me. There's no way. There's no way. And we're gonna keep it all the way a buck. Ever since my daughter seen what her and Terrell did at their birthday party, they don't ask about neither one of them. I don't have to slander my kid. I don't have to slander you around my kids at all. I don't have to talk about you bad around my kids at all because they seen what you did. They're 5. They're not stupid. They know exactly what goes on. Just like when we went to my auntie house, they told my auntie, you left my house. You left my house with grandma at my birthday party. They're not stupid. They know exactly what be going on. They know exactly what be going on, and they don't even ask no more. 2020, they went 2020 wondering why they couldn't call you, why they couldn't talk to you, and I said, you lost your damn mind because you did lose your mind. Like, I couldn't understand what your problem was. But to come to find out you got an issue because you just really felt like, you felt left out because I met Eric, when yet, perfect example, I asked you, what was this? This is recent. Couple months ago when it was hot. Matter of fact, this was March 2021. We're only in January 2021. So let's go to the park. I asked you, was you coming outside? It was a nice day. She said no, she gonna stay in the house, she tired. Woo, woo, woo. So we called Eric mama. Hey, let's go to the park. Eric, let's go to the park. Kids go to the park. Let's go to the park. Okay, so then I get in the shower. If I didn't get in the shower, she would have missed me anyway. But I get in the shower, come out the shower. She knocking on the door. Okay, we finna go to the park. Da, da, da. Go to the park. Eric mama pull up. My mama riding in the car with me. My mom never even gets out the car. My mama never even gets out the car. So when you say you feel like you wasn't invited and you feel left out and all of that, you never even get out the car. Now, can you let me know why you didn't get out the car? You didn't even get out the car. You sat in the car the whole time we at the park. The whole time. You said you was going to sit in the car and smoke. And then once you was finished, you was going to walk over there. You never walked over there. You never get out the car. I couldn't understand why you didn't get out the car. I can't understand why you act like you got a problem with Eric mama. Like anything... nothing has to do with you. If me and Eric get into it, that has nothing to do with you. Just like you said, if you and Ty get into it, that has nothing to do with me. I don't like Ty because Ty has done stuff to her that is just like me as a daughter. I wouldn't want that. Eric ain't never called me no bitch, no hoe, no slut, none of that. Eric ain't never disrespected me how he disrespects you. But me as being a daughter, I don't like that. But if that's who you choose to be with him. But I'm not, the stuff that he has done to me, or let's say him getting into it with Terrell, because listen, Terrell said he didn't like him either, but you still walking around with him, you still kicking it with him. That's your problem. You do what you gotta do to fit in and have someone to stay. Whatever. Because at this point, I'm not understanding. That's the only reason why you could be doing it, because ain't no way you really think she right. But if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. If you think she right, you think she right. I'm not gonna live my life unhappy and to please nobody else. Like, I'm done doing that. I don't have to do that no more. I don't have to walk around and please my mama because I stay with her. I don't have to please my mama and do what she say because I'm in fear of getting put out, or I'm in fear of this, or I'm in fear she gonna play with the link card, or I'm in fear she gonna say, you know, don't do this because this her house, and if I don't like it, I don't have to be in fear of none of that. I don't have to be in fear of none of that because I have my own. The one time I ask for something and somebody do something for me, it's getting thrown back in my face, as if everybody haven't helped somebody out before, as if everybody haven't done something for somebody before. Because you got help too, and you didn't like the fact that you said auntie was telling people that you earned her money from 2015, but you turned around and you're doing it to me now, and you're telling people that I owe you money. The same thing you said you was upset about her doing, you're doing it to me. The same thing you said, oh, Granny was mad because you didn't tell her that you was going home instead of spending the night, and you felt like you didn't have to tell her because you grown. You was upset because I didn't tell you that I was going to stay in my own house after I had Malakai. It just don't make sense. It don't. It's like, it's a lose-lose situation. It's like I choose to take myself out of that. Like, if I gotta be toxic with somebody, no matter who it is, you gotta go. And I told her from rip, I said, if you do what you did in 2020 again, it's over with. You did it again. You did it again. You told me you felt some type of way because I didn't invite you to that party in 2020. 2020, it was a quarantine birthday party. Go check it out on my channel. It was a you said, oh, even if I had to pull up and eat a cupcake and sit in the car with them, I could have still did it. But yet you had the perfect opportunity 2021. You wasn't invited 2020. It was quarantine, right? But you wasn't invited because we weren't talking anyway. But you had the perfect opportunity. You're invited 2021 and you leave. You leave. You leave your granddaughter's party, and that's what I couldn't understand. Oh, I left for a situation. I didn't leave a party. You came here for a party. You didn't come here for that situation. The person who came here shouldn't even been here. That's just on period, no blood. He wasn't even supposed to be here. But yet, you left the party because he couldn't be here. You left the party because your boyfriend, man, whoever, your piece of meat couldn't be here, so you left too. And then Terrell teeter-totter right behind you. And my granny and my auntie left too. And they don't even really understand the whole story. Because, once again, I don't walk around, hey, let me tell you. And even if I did, who finna listen? Because they already heard your story. They already feel like you right. But nobody wants to sit and really think about realistically, well, why didn't she want him now? But why would Eric really tell him that? Y'all really think somebody wrong for telling somebody that they can't come in their house? This stuff is real. Everybody not gonna play with somebody a certain type of way. Everybody ain't just finna funny kick it with everybody. And that's what I meant when I said earlier in the video, hold on to that. Because if you didn't like Eric, you didn't have to sit around Eric and fake kick it. But because nobody's gonna sit around and fake kick it with him, you're upset. But anyway, this is what I have to say. And I don't care who is mad that I'm making this video, because at this point, this is the best way to get my story heard by everybody. Instead of me individually, hey, yeah, so did I get talked about to you? No, this is the best way for everybody to hear what I have to say. And at this point, I don't care what nobody got to say. Because at the end of the day, don't nobody care about me and my kids. Don't nobody call to check up on me and my kids. I'm the only person who go around texting everybody, calling everybody, make sure everybody good. Don't nobody do that for me and my kids. Don't nobody do that for me and my kids. If something happened to us today or tomorrow, who would really give a fuck? Nobody. So I don't care what nobody got to say. I don't want to hear that that's still your mama and y'all should get all together and that's your brother. I don't want to hear none of that. Because at the end of the day, they don't care about us. And it shows. And it shows because you still walking around with the same person who you getting into it with your child for. And I'm not even saying pick a side between me and him. That's not what I'm saying. Because I'm grown. You be with who you be with. Just like I told her when she was like, me and Terrell don't like Eric. Okay, and I didn't marry Eric for y'all. Period. I'm not with Eric for y'all. Eric treats me good. Just like how you gonna say, oh, Eric did this, and that. But I've already told y'all what Eric has done. Eric has went way beyond out his way than he ever had to. The only person he had to impress was me with my kids. He not a child. He not a child. You stood over this man's head, cussing him out, pointing your finger in his face, and he sat on the couch unbothered. Let's tell people that. Because he had, at that point, you in my house, you yelling in my face, I'm yelling back with you. I'm yelling back with you, and yet the person who not doing anything or yelling back at you, you're in his face yelling and stuff. He's sitting on the couch unbothered, even when it came to Terrell. Unbothered. What you gonna fight? To make it make sense, he gonna fight you in his crib on Leah and Lonnie's birthday. It still was their birthday. But now all of a sudden, y'all got 2 extra people to listen to y'all with this. Y'all got 2 extra people, my auntie and my granny. Oh, you make a scene. Oh, you make a scene. And you ain't even get casted. You didn't even get a call back. You did all of that. Both of y'all acted a fool. Long story short, both of y'all acted a fool on the day of my children's birthday at their party. And y'all don't feel like y'all wrong. And y'all are 100% wrong because my children was sitting right there. I put all that work into the party for y'all to act a fool. And if I knew y'all would have acted a fool, y'all wouldn't have been invited to neither one. To neither one. And what makes it so bad is the first party at the jumping jam, everything was cool between me and my brother. It was no issue between me and my brother. But my issue with my brother is you continue to make her think that she's okay. You take her side, and that's what I don't like. You take her side. My brother never came to me and just sat and talked to me about nothing. Oh, this is what's happening. This is just, let's be a mediator. Instead of being, okay, I'm going to talk to her, I'm going to try to get both of them to sit down and talk together. You just automatically take her side. So now I'm here by myself. I'm here by myself. Because I'm not the one who calling the family. I'm not the one who calling everybody to tell everybody what's going on. I'm not the one who lingering. It's like a cult. Y'all joint together. Everybody joint together to join the Moni and Eric hate train. I'm not calling anybody to get somebody to be on my side. I'm not saying nothing to nobody. I'm not calling family. Hey, listen. How you doing? Yeah, so let me tell you what happened. I'm not doing none of that. you how she doing. I don't know. I guess she doing good. Somebody asks you how I'm doing. You want to tell them my full life story. You want to tell them all my business. But then you want to you don't understand why I don't want to be bothered with you no more. You don't understand. But it's the same thing. Because it's kind of funny. Because you were saying you don't want to be bothered with your own mama. So now I completely understand what you're saying. Because now I don't want to be bothered with mine. It's just I don't want that drama in my life. I told my mama, if somebody cannot bring me peace and happiness and just come in my life with just good vibes, I don't want it. I don't want it. Why should I live my life unhappy because of a title? I don't do it for my daddy. I don't do it for him. I don't allow that from him, but I gotta allow it from you. Now, once again, I'm not saying you're a very bad, I'm not even going to paint you out to be this bad person my whole life. But at the end of the day, I have no choice but to tell the truth at this point. And just to go out and tell my side of the story. And we're going to tell the truth. We're going to tell the truth. Because if you want to feel like I've done stuff, okay, I've done it. If you want to feel like I've done stuff, I've done it. Like I told my mama in November, anything that you have felt like I've done to you, I've never done it intentionally. I've never done anything intentionally to hurt your feelings. What she was doing and what she continued to do is intentionally to hurt me. You do it because you know you can. You do it because you know you can because of that title. You do it because you know I have some type of leverage. You do it because you can. Or because you think you can. But I'm done with this video. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm so drained. Y'all just don't understand. My mental is fucking drained. I feel like every couple months it's the same thing. Every couple, and then I'm over here, I'm trying to look for therapists. I'm trying to like fight for this relationship that's clearly not worth fighting for. It's not worth it. I'm trying to fight for this relationship while somebody is bashing the fuck out of me. Or I was. I was trying to fight for this relationship while continuing. Even to this day, I'm getting fucking bashed. I'm getting bashed. Why everybody and their mama gotta know what the fuck going on? Why everybody and their mama gotta know, oh look, Nene did this, and Nene was doing this, and Nene was doing, and I'm minding my own motherfucking business. But yet, I get talked about, I'm getting lied on, and I keep my motherfucking mouth shut. How that look? How that look? Out of everything that my mama done did to me, everything my mama done talked about me, everything my mama has said to me, all of this with her son, all of it, I'm just gonna keep being quiet. I'm just gonna keep shutting the fuck up. Me being a grown ass woman, I don't have an issue with telling anybody anything that I have to say. But then when it comes to my mama, I don't say anything out of respect. But there's no mutual respect. So why should I have respect? But yeah, I'm going from this video. It is what it is. I don't care. I'm not doing this video for anybody to be on my side. I don't need nobody to be on my side, because to this day, ain't nobody on my side. And I clearly understand why, because I'm getting talked about. I'm getting talked about. Everybody's fucking talking about me. Everybody's talking about me. While I'm minding my business, everybody's talking about me. You would think my grandpa's death would have brought everybody together. And it didn't. And nobody need to use his death as a reason to act a fucking fool. Or to act the way that they acting. Or to act... No. But I'm going from it. Peace.